Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Live from the Killhouse. Saturday, somehow still not even round 2 completed. Solly here. DJ Pie is here. Hello, DJ Pie.
Hello.
TC is here. Hello, TC.
Greetings. We watched some golf today.
We had a fabulous day out at TPC Stadium Course. Big, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to introduce you. You're going to do the ad read for us here for Elijah Craig. And as promised on the Thursday show, if you're watching this live, I'm going to smoke a pair of old fashions right here live on live TV. I have about a 50% success rate on this, so this might be interesting. But Big, hello, how are you? Take us straight to what makes Elijah Craig so great.
Thank you, Mr. Chris. Question for you guys as you begin the smoking process. Did you know PGA Tour Pro Max Homa is new brand ambassador for Elijah Craig Bourbon? One of our favorite golfers, repping our favorite sipper. And like Homa, Elijah Craig Bourbon never settles for less than the best. Every bottle of their award-winning small batch carries a signature warm spice and subtle smoke flavor. I think that smoke flavor is about to get a lot less subtle as Solly gets going here. It's exceptionally smooth and well-balanced. I like to drink it extra neat, as my guy TC pointed out Thursday. I know you guys like it on the rocks in an old-fashioned. And Elijah Craig won double gold at the San Francisco World Spirits competition last year. It's not only celebrated by experts, it's enjoyed by all, especially our guy Max Homa. So whether you're at the clubhouse or watching the players at your own house, enjoy the action with a glass of Elijah Craig, the signature sip of PGA Tour Pro Max Homa. Learn about the partnership and discover the greatness within at ElijahCraig.com/NLU. That's ElijahCraig.com/NLU. And a little legalese here. No Laying Up is brought to you by Elijah Craig, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Bardstown, Kentucky, 47% alcohol by volume. Elijah Craig reminds you to think wisely and drink wisely. How's it going over there?
Honestly, about as good as possible.
It's good. It looks like who was that guy? The NFL draft?
Laramie Tunsil.
That's kind of how I feel like I need.
A collab between Laramie Tunsil and Richard Blaze.
Exactly. Yeah, just
put the gas mask on.
Out the ass.
Solly, you ever set off the smoke alarm?
I have set off the smoke alarm. Yeah, there's a lot of smoke that comes with it, but it adds a nice little flavor to it. I think you guys
going
to
tell. Lingering on the top.
Everybody says that like 60% of taste is smell.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
There you have it.
You'll be surprised on like the 5th sip, like another layer will hit you. But let's go right into it.
Well, let's just right up front here. I don't know what's going on with the Killhouse internet. So anybody who's watching this, you may be listening to this on the podcast feed. You may be watching. Listen, we've done everything we possibly can. Upload speed we're getting from Comcast, a complete fucking disgrace.
Well, that's
our technology officer is also on his honeymoon.
That's true, exactly.
Well,
so nothing we can do.
I'm gonna blame it on Brian Roberts.
I love it. I totally agree. I sleep at the wheel.
It's retribution from NBC, Universal, Comcast for shitting all over the Goldman.
Is that where we start? Do we start with the Gold
100%.
Man? The Gold Man, many people calling him the Gold Boy, maybe people calling him the Golden Man. I don't know if we've settled on a consensus name. I think he was dropped from coverage today.
Some people are calling him Marcus, like Goldman Sachs.
I have no idea. A lot of people saying maybe he got smelted down into, I don't know what happened to the Gold Man, but we did not see him on the telecast today. And that was the only knock I can make about one of the most historic days in my golf watching history.
What do you think happened? Like, what do you think the string of events was that was like, oh, I am stunned here. First of all, the people are not into this. Like, we got to take it down. Like, what do you think that conversation was like?
I think it was probably a lot of like, oh shit, it turns out people don't like this idea. Like, let's spike it for the rest of the week.
Porath had a great tweet too. It was like, you know what? Like, pretty much all of golf Twitter has been on the tour's side for months and months and months now, with a lot of developments, and then they just lobbed us a free one. Just
it
was
way
too
easy. Out of their own way.
It was way too
when things
easy.
are going well, they have to increase the degree of difficulty a little bit. Right?
A little self-sabotage there. But all right, guys, we spent some time out on the golf course today. What was the highlight?
Oh, it was like one big highlight. Just everything on 17.
It was. That's a great point. Cody and I showed up right as play resumed, right about noon, and I don't think I wiped the smile off my face until I left the golf tournament today. I felt like a kid in a candy store, and that's not purely pessimism. I mean, yes, it was just fun to like watch balls go in the water. Also, just fun to watch guys pull off incredible shots. Fun to watch guys control spin. Fun to watch guys kind of control flights, control trajectories. I mean, we saw a ton of that from JT down the stretch. It was a blast, man. It was what a test, and to see the world's best in like the toughest conditions possible. What an absolute treat. It's what we've been calling for a decade now.
It also speaks to the difference between how they're talking about this test versus how they were last week. Like, their quotes were rolling in. Like, Koepka just called it hard. Rory said it was fine, very tough but fair. Bubba said the course was never to the edge. It's just hard. That's the feeling I got on 17. I saw Brandel threw a tweet out saying that the course is unplayable right now. The shot on 17 was just like straight up. This is professional golf. Like, this is it. Like, this is doable. It is so possible to fly a 7-iron down and get the trajectory right, not balloon it and not fly it through the wind. And that was what it was asking. And if you couldn't do that, you paid a, whatever that penalty is, probably a 1.5 penalty hitting.
You paid the ultimate price.
You paid the ultimate price like the gold man did.
Exactly.
And it was just fascinating to watch, like, the dudes that just stepped up and looked like they were ready and there for the challenge. JT comes to mind, Russell Henley, Leash.
I'll tee you up. Possibly the best shot I've seen in person.
Yeah, if Leash doesn't make the cut, it's going to be tough to write the tomes that I said they're going to write about his 3-hole stretch there at the end of what was that, round 1 for him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like he's basically playing these holes under par while Brandel is
saying it's impossible.
Is saying it's impossible. Like,
which I think, if I'm reading generously into Brandel's take, I mean, I think, like, listen, if you want to make a complete bulletproof 100% fair test of golf, was that it today?
No,
absolutely
that's not golf.
Should
though.
that be the goal?
Yeah.
Hell no.
You can't do that.
Like, the most entertaining.
It's an island
round.
green.
And that's what we were kind of saying, is like to just quadruple down on this take. If you walk up to that hole or see the aerial or whatever, and you think like, okay, this is a truly fair test of golf. We're really trying to protect the sanctity of competition.
We can't play this in too much wind.
It's like, come on, man. That's not what we're doing here.
It didn't help that when you came out today, play starts at noon, the wind is howling, the guys are finishing the round, so you're going to the back nine. Everyone's ready to see 17, 18. It was the two hardest holes today, obviously, 17 and 18. So it was just straight carnage out the gate. First 3 guys on 17 hit it directly into the water. It was amazing to me to watch, like, Scotty Scheffler, who's won 2 of the last 3 golf tournaments he's played in, just hosel adjacent one. I mean, if we're being real kind here. And then Morikawa just like totally flustered on that shot twice.
Yeah.
And he hit like a thin, skanky one out to the right. And it was, I was standing right behind the tee, just watching the trajectory and watching it come out of different windows. And it was fascinating. It was easy to sit there and watch and like kind of gain information as the day went along. If you're coming up to that hole and you're turning back into the wind to hit that shot, you are guessing. Like, it's a guess. It's not easy, but it was very possible.
Randy, did it come through on TV? What was your experience out west?
Oh yeah, it absolutely came through on TV. And props to NBC Golf Channel. They had some cool wind graphics, showing the different levels. It was obviously blowing really strong up high, and then down where the players were standing on the tee box a little less so. So yeah, I thought they did a great job showing the carnage. I mean, it got to a point where there were so many like bad shots. I was like, are they just seeking out the bad shots, or is everybody just hitting bad shots? A little stat here just flashed on the screen. Anybody want to take a guess at the scoring average on number 17 today?
3.8.
3.91.
That's a good guess. 3.79, which would rank it second since, I believe, 1983, behind the 1984. I think it was slightly higher than that. So very, very difficult day.
The guys that hit fades usually, I think, we're struggling a lot more. Like hitting a fade up into that, and then the wind takes it, versus a guy like, that likes to hit kind of a low bullet right to left, holding it up against the wind.
And there's a whole nother element to it in that there are so many flags in that circular dome, right, around all the hospitality. And then I watched it multiple times. Like, the pin would do something different than what all the flags were doing.
And the pin on 16 would do something different than what was going on 17.
Yes.
That whole thing is like, I don't think I really realized it until today. It's just like such a weird wind tunnel. Like Cody and I were feeling it when we were standing right in front of the actual tunnel where you walk from 17 green to 18. Just feeling the breezes like just come through that thing was insane. And then you picture that, times 1,000 with the hospitality tents, and with, hospitality tents really like every which direction. It's just, there's a lot of conflicting info.
It was
out there.
super gusty too.
Yes.
Like there was
Brooks got gusted,
especially as the day went on. Like the gusts stayed the same, but the overall wind kind of lessened. And I think tomorrow it's going to be less gusty. Like the wind's still going to be up, but it's going to be less gusty. So it should be a little bit more predictable, I think. According to my fishing app.
Yeah. I give Koepka a shout. Usually he can be kind of a mope when it's not going good. To get gusted on, have that ball go straight up in the air, and him just like laugh about it. That was good TV. Like that highlight is that's the only way to really handle that. I think one thing I've tried to think about when I'm playing in difficult conditions now is I would let conditions lead me to making a bad decision, a bad swing, a bad effort. And like playing with some really good players and win, I'm like, they still make like a really good, just committed swing. And whatever the conditions do to the ball, they don't worry about that, right? It was crazy to watch pros swings get affected. Like watch them go into like, whoa, like Colin Morikawa does not make bad swings at a 7 or 8 iron. Like he doesn't do what he did on that swing. Like it was not the wind that blew that ball into the water. It was horrible contact. But that's letting the conditions get to you. And watching pros battle that is just fascinating. Like that. We talked a lot about, the different shots that were required out throughout the day and the guys that reveled in it. Like JT popped off the screen of like, yeah, I'll flight a 6 iron down. I'll hit a wedge from 185. I'll hit a fairway wood from 195. No big deal. But like that is just entertaining golf. Randy?
Yeah. Shout out live from the players. Really cool graphic they're showing right now on hole 17. Breaking down the green and regulation percent by the apex of the ball flight. And Yeah. So at 70 feet or lower of apex, the green and regulation percentage today was 75%. From 70 to 90 feet apex, it was 56%. From 90 to 100 feet, it was 35%. And then balls at apex 100 feet or higher only hit the green 28% of the time today.
Hell yeah.
Who is apexing it that high?
There were a lot of guys that absolutely hit
that's an awesome graphic.
Well, I think Kuchar you guys got out there.
That was
you wouldn't shut up about Kuchar's thing.
Highlight of the day. Easily
like a home run derby ball, right?
Hit it like it looked like a guy who absolutely like stepped the left foot like out in the bucket, was just trying to hit it as hard down the third baseline out of the ballpark as possible. I had to go like 180 yards. I mean, it was just it flew.
It cleared the water.
It cleared. So if you're picturing the green, obviously
you can see the graphic if you're watching this live. Here, he's the blue one,
the furthest right blue one. It cleared. Like
that graphic
where the isthmus hits the land, it cleared that, and it was unbelievable.
On that graphic, it looks like that's going like short left of the green, but that's actually coming so close to where
they just had to give up the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a pull. Must have just been a little bit of a smother hook 9 wood from Kuchar out there on 17 today.
I got to give, I don't know who, this guy jumped off the page for me today as far as where he stayed on the leaderboard. Tom Hoagie, I got a lot of credit to him for just
totally rock solid.
He did not didn't budge at all. He had played golf in 2 days.
That's unreal.
We have, I think I've kind of peaked for this tournament. We have so much freaking golf to play.
So early.
We are so early in this.
Is the 3rd, 4th, 5th wind?
Randy, is this going to finish by Monday?
Oh God, let's hope so. Right. I assuming tomorrow morning is going to be the real proof is in the pudding for me. Like there better not be any cold weather delays. Get these guys out there, get through the second round, and then hopefully the pace picks up. It's going to be tough, but I think a full day Monday, I think we can fit it all in, right?
I think what's going to be weird, I'm woefully uneducated on how they're going to do this, but I mean, they can't repair for the 3rd round until they make the cut, right? And you can't, so you're just going to have a bunch of guys still that haven't even teed off in round 2, which is crazy to say out loud. A bunch of guys that haven't even teed off in round 2 of varying place on the leaderboard. So you can't repair for round 3 until all those guys finish, I would assume, right? And so I don't know if there's just going to be a bunch of dead time tomorrow. I don't get how obviously there's a lot of very, very smart people working on it and they'll figure something good out, but yeah, I don't really know how that's going to work.
Winds are going to get back under 10 degrees sustained and not much gust by the time we get to about 2 o'clock tomorrow. So that should help pace of play a little bit.
Would you guys rather play in 25 and blowing this afternoon or 10 and 35 degrees tomorrow morning? Like 35 degrees tomorrow morning, not wind chill.
You've seen me play on video when it's very cold many, many times, like Tobacco Road, things of that nature. So that seems to be when I play my best.
Your resume speaks for itself.
Yeah, it speaks for. I'd be happy to tee it up tomorrow for $20 million.
Can we talk about Billy Horschel?
Yes.
Bill Ho.
William.
Poor Fooch.
Fooch just
can't catch a break.
A complete bullet sponge out there, man.
Bill.
What was the situation here?
Flights one over the green on 17, and before the ball
Have
even
a ground rule double,
yeah,
one hop.
yeah,
over,
and
over
before the
fence.
ball even hits the water, it just turns over to Fuchs. And, like we're long, right? Oh, okay. Like I flighted the hell out of that. I told you I
think he said I
flighted.
flight it better than
Yeah.
anyone out here,
Yeah.
something like that. Secondhand report. I didn't actually hear him say that, but
If there's ever a shot that there is no caddy blade to be done, like a caddy can give you a club for that shot, but you are responsible for the proper trajectory on it.
You got to be a pitcher, not a thrower.
Yes, that there is so much user control. If a caddy says this is a stock 9-iron and it airmails by 15 yards when there's no wind, that's on the caddy. But a shot like that requires, you can put any club in your hand, but it requires a specific kind of shot with that club. Like a full 7-iron might go shorter than a back of the stance 7-iron.
Yeah.
And so, Williams going to have to own that one. I think.
There's almost a little bit of like the caddy, a lot of caddies don't like to read putts because the player's thinking of a different speed in their head and the caddy's thinking of a different speed. It's almost the same thing with like a crazy wind like that. It's like, which is why I think JT showed himself to be much more of an artiste than I think I've probably ever given him credit for today. It's like you got to just kind of be able to draw that stuff up in your head a little bit, and hopefully the caddy kind of figures out what you're saying.
Well, he and Burba
and Bubba, we haven't even talked about. I think you
Bubba did one better than JT today. Bogey
said
3
it perfectly before we came on. I think actually I'd flip it. I'd say Bubba
played the best round of the day,
best round of his career, I would say, but probably not the best round of the day, which goes to JT.
Yeah,
even though I'm kidding. That's purely because JT was on TV more.
I'll say this. JT got his 3 birdies on par 5s. Bubba only birdied 1 par 5. Was a stroke better.
Bubba also birdied. 12,
what does that mean? What do you, I'll say this. What does that mean?
I'm just saying he wasn't the par 5s traditionally the easiest scoring holes.
I'm just saying.
But I think the two guys that really thrived on just shot shape and creativity, right? Cool to see them. TC, I absolutely think we exposed some guys as throwers today.
We did. You said it earlier. Like
it was a disgrace.
Stink.
A lot of these guys stink when the conditions aren't perfect.
There's a lot of guys throwing 103 just like 4 feet out of the strike zone today.
That's exactly. It's like Joel Zumaya. Remember that Detroit Tigers?
Oh my god!
Closer? He would just throw 102, but it's on a line. Everybody can time that up.
Or it's like the guy at the combine that he's got big hands and he's rifling stuff at guys, but he's missing guys. He's hitting low or high or whatever. He's not hitting guys.
That's exactly right.
He can't take anything off.
Imagine if the ball spun.
Oh,
these guys are being protected with a capital P.
Yeah. Shout out to Charlie Hoffman. I'm just getting a report here. This is news to me.
Breaking across the wire.
Joaquin Niemann's 5 under.
Correct.
Didn't know that.
My question: who is winning the tournament right now? Not. Don't look at the leaderboard. Not saying who's listed in first place. In your mind, in your opinion, who is winning the tournament right now?
Cam Smith.
That's kind of where
he just birdied his first hole coming out,
as well.
and he's 4 under, and
they absolutely dig in.
He's gonna
like Doug Gim and his old man.
Like his old man.
Yeah. Cigarillo purveyors in Jacksonville Beach. Let's say.
I'm just gonna say this. I'll throw this one. John Rahm.
Where's he?
He's 3 under.
Oh,
didn't play any.
Just receiving word on that.
Didn't play any golf today. Sorry, he teed off on 1 today, and that's it. That's all he got in. So he'll be out early in the cold, but he's a buoy. You can't take him.
I think Bubba and JT in the house at 3 under have to be.
But it's not gonna be the same conditions.
I was gonna say they paid a price that doesn't necessarily pay off on the back end. I think the hardest golf that we're gonna see was today. I think tomorrow's gonna be cold, but it's the wind it's not gonna be as difficult tomorrow. So they're gonna emerge from that wave, but it really is the waves are gonna play.
Kisner played his ass off today and shot 74.
That's amazing.
Same
with Sepp Straka.
Yeah. I mean, he also made a quad.
But he played so good and had one bad swing, really, and then doubled down.
It's crazy though. I mean, looking at it at -3, you've got Rahm who just teed off. You've got Louis Oosthuizen. Aaron Wise is 2 under through 2 on his second round here.
Doesn't seem like he's hanging around this weekend.
No, but then you've got Cam Smith. You got Zalatoris. We haven't talked about him since early Thursday.
Maybe got a mega pass not having to play much today with the crazy wind.
Yeah.
That putting stroke in the wind would have been
might have helped. That might have helped.
Saying.
It might have been the kind of wind that knocks the club out of the air.
I think in all seriousness, shout out to the agronomy crew at,
Dude,
at
seriously,
Sawgrass.
unbelievable.
Just like the fact that they were able to play golf by noon today, much less like 3 o'clock.
The fact that
crazy.
like we were stomping around like doing inside the rope stuff, so you're walking through a lot of like pine straw and low areas, and like my shoes didn't even get that wet. It's like it's absolutely crazy.
You wore golf shoes today, though.
I did wear golf shoes. I hand up.
Solid. You wear golf shoes?
I wore my yard boots, my waterproof boots.
Okay.
Not that necessary. I was a little dramatic today. I wore a rain suit.
A little bit. Look at me.
I'm shocked that place is not just like it doesn't look like a fire fest out there.
No,
you know, like it's
amen.
It's like
it feels like a fire fest in here. It's so smoky.
so smoky. The cocktail's really good, actually.
Cody, can you do me a favor? Can you go to originalpenguin.com real quick as we pull a little visual up on the screen? I did not warn him that this was coming, but I want to give a shout out to our friends at Original Penguin, longtime partners of ours. They sponsored 2019 Taurus Us, I think it is now. We've been working with them for a long time.
Who won?
Oh my God. Ugh, I just hate it. I hate it teeing up like that. I'm rocking Original Penguin right now. One of the many hoodies that I wear. I think I have about 6 or 7 of these Original Penguin hoodies. I wear their gym shorts all the time. I wear their like kind of casual wear shorts. I wear their shorts on the golf course all the time.
They're golf shorts and they're just regular like pants.
TC, you need to get that hoodie that's on the main screen right there.
That's
I'll load up before we go to Taurus Sauce.
We do need to.
Cam, they also sponsor Cam Smith as well.
Exactly.
They do. We are huge fans of Original Penguin. Check out all of their offerings at originalpenguin.com. I say this every time, but I wear their stuff quite literally every single day, and that is not a lie. So
it's party boy stuff.
It is extreme party boy stuff. Cody, where do we go next? What are people putting us on blast for?
Got a lot of Rose talk.
Okay.
Rose.
Speaking of Fooch,
Team Rose took how long to hit his shot on 17 in round
45
2?
minutes.
Yes, a
at least.
little more than that probably. And then came up. Again, the shot length graphics are being pretty friendly to where some of these balls were going in the water.
I'm not like not a huge prognosticator, but great thing about being in person, they always talk about it on the broadcast. When you see the caddy flash the number of fingers, and you see him flashing like caddy pulls the bag away, flashes the downward 3. That means Cody. I'm like, oh God, this isn't gonna be good. And it was like 20 yards short. It wasn't close.
Anybody that flashed the 3 down was short in the water. 8 was not enough club today.
Yeah.
Did you guys see any other golf? Any other holes that were especially fun to watch today?
Well, fun to watch 16. Watch guys play whipping straight downwind. So fun to watch guys kind of play to that back pin was kind of fun.
18 was a true like status check on the quality of your driver or your 3-wood.
Yeah.
Like that was, hey man, like I mean, some guys hit driver 3-wood and didn't get home in 2.
They moved the tee up on 18 today. Stroke average was over 5.035, 1 birdie, 23 bogeys, 10 doubles, and 5 others.
Who birdied it?
That's a great
I'll
question.
get that for
I
you.
believe JT said last year in winning the tournament, he hit 5-wood sand wedge into 18. Today he hit driver 5-wood into 18.
TC, I'll give you $100,000 if you can tell me who birdied 18 today.
Come on, TC.
Come on, man.
Oh gosh, Peter Malnati. No, he didn't even play today.
We saw him driving today.
Keegan Bradley.
I give you 100 more guesses, and I don't think you would have got there.
Lee Hodges.
Keep going. I want you to keep going. The money's off the table now, but I want you to keep going. Cody, if you got any guesses,
Brandon
please.
Grace.
Charles Schwartzel.
All right, I'm done.
Teddy McCarthy.
Matthew Neesmith.
God, that was gonna be my next guess.
I know.
What else? I think that and also the like just seeing guys shape the ball. Like seeing Bubba's shot on 18 and seeing how comfortable guys are hitting it right to left versus left to right, and also, seeing if guys hit the ball when they're ready or when they're not ready. Zach Johnson, he can't keep getting away with this shit, man.
This is not good.
There's no accountability whatsoever.
No.
Like he almost fucking hit somebody today. I swear to God.
It's not cute anymore either.
That's a safety issue.
And he's like, oh, where's the camera? This is funny. No, it's not funny, dog.
Did he yell when he hit?
Super. Come on, it's funny. Unintentionally funny.
No, he's a cheese dick.
How does this happen 3 times?
Where was the second one? Was I on vacation when the second one happened?
He did it at Phoenix.
I missed that.
Why do you have to take
bad
a stuff that close to the ball?
I don't know. He should. The only thing that would make it better is if he became a huge divot practice swing guy. He should take take a massive pelt right next to his ball on his practice swing.
Neil gives me anxiety when he does that. He just gets mud all in his grooves right before hitting the shot.
I think you know what's kind of cool. We can say anything we want about Neil. There's
he'll never hear it.
He'll never listen to these podcasts. He's so off the grid right now.
His boy Ches is DFL.
Ches is also off the grid.
That's crazy that Ches didn't thrive in these conditions.
Right?
You know who's second to last? Or third? Sorry, third to last.
Westwood.
Ryan Brem.
That had to be Ryan Brem.
Is this a flex, TC, a week after he wins?
Yeah, it is.
The most cheerful win. Like Harry and Huber were here almost crying about him winning.
I just don't think he's a real player.
Brem stunted
He
on
hits
TC.
it so far, but like he plays like freaking demon.
Then he hit it right in the middle of 17 green, absolutely stunted on TC. Right in front of him. It was awesome.
He peacocked on him.
He did. It was on your shot shaping thing. One thing I wanted to say, I hope doesn't get lost whenever we talk about like the equipment stuff and oh god, the game's been like so dumbed down and blah 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 blah. I think what a day like this is like such a good reminder of for everybody else. I think we've always felt this way is like these guys, most of these guys like absolutely can hit these shots. They never have to.
Correct.
And that's why a day like today is so awesome when it's like, no, look how you think you're seeing how good these guys are. You're never seeing it. This is how fucking good they are. And that's why today was so fun.
Like when Jordan Spieth goes out and hits a bunch of fairways and shoots 79.
Yeah.
That's wild,
Exactly.
man. Or, I mean, I'm not sure if you guys saw Xander's shot on 18.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, yo, dog, like you got to control your spin.
Yeah.
And the ball doesn't even spin anymore.
I was talking about the one he topped. He hit one 16 feet, I think, with his second shot on
the one that he hit up short of the green, and then he was like 40 yards short or 30 yards short, and he hits it at the flag, and it just rips off the front of the green. I thought it was going to go in the water for a little bit.
Good question from Jack Charters in the chat there. We can save this maybe for the end of the show. My wife was asking me this. Do you think there's more doors in the world or more wheels in the world?
We can get to that one, but he's asking us to trash Rory and Morikawa first if we want to do that. We had Tony Aguirre's asking us for that.
I don't know what to say about Rory. It's a significant bummer, man. The wedges
He's not a mutter.
The wedges are awful. Just like
thrower
ripping stuff off the greens. It's
he's a quad
really
he's a quad A baseball player. Like he's like Chris Davis. Just comes in and just rakes, but hits like 205,
187,
piling up strikeouts.
TC, people are gonna get on you because you can't say he rakes. Rakes is when you're hitting over 300.
Listen, I don't watch baseball.
I know. I want to save you.
Tron was so bummed this week when baseball came back.
Oh, it's awful.
I wanted Colin and Rory weren't even the worst offenders. Like I was super disappointed with Spieth, Koepka, Schauffele. I mean, these guys look like they had no fight today. We're not up for the challenge. Mentally defeated.
I think Spieth was in it. We followed him for a good, like, what would you say, Cody? 6, 7, 8 holes, something like that. And I mean, he was definitely down for the fight. It just was there were some big left misses, there's some big right misses. It was not the fun cocaine train of usual. It was just the kind of really sad type.
I've got about 3 more months worth of this isn't a good Spieth course. Excuses lined up. It's not, but also like he's not playing good.
No,
why is it not though? Like
I know,
also he's like
no,
driving the shit out.
He's just straight up not playing good. But I'm going to keep saying, this is not a Spieth
but he's
course.
But like,
never
look
played-
at his
he's
record
never
here.
played well
It's
here.
awful.
Yeah.
It's really bad. He finished like runner up once, I think.
It's important to note that this course is super uncomfy, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't
like less uncomfy from the middle of the fairway. He seemed like he drove it
right, but
nice.
It's still like you guys were saying, like Finau should not, whatever. This should be a great Finau course, whatever. I got a from a good source next to it was like, yeah, Finau came up and was like, yeah, this is my least uncomfortable course I play all year.
Most
least uncomfortable.
least comfortable.
Least comfortable.
So too late. We're gonna isolate this up.
Well, I feel like it's like
Damning.
an anxiety-inducing course, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Spieth plays with a lot of anxiety,
Yes,
so it's
possible.
probably not the best thing. Morikawa, is it possible that he's too much of a flusher to play in conditions where there's mud on the ball or there's moisture?
You want to hear a bad take?
But he also won the British Open.
Yeah,
But it didn't blow.
yeah, it didn't blow.
Watch the highlights on that, and I was
Oh,
like,
man.
yeah,
I don't want that to be the case.
I know. But you want to hear a bad take? Bad hoodie day. Not a good day to wear a hoodie.
Well, and he
Distracting.
He had the grout fit on.
Total
too.
grout fit. No play for Mr. Gray out there for
We haven't talked about DJ yet.
It's true.
DJ's
Lurking.
a stud.
we followed him for a while. Cody, what were your impressions following DJ?
He middle of the fairway almost every single driver shot, and then just a horrible display of irons all afternoon long.
What was up with that shot he hit on 50? God, he
It's-
was like 20 short, queefy out to the right, just awful. But what did he do? Played really fast.
That's right. Just cruising out.
Strokes
Always.
gained is going to be broke for this tournament. There's
Yes.
no analysis to be made for any stats because
It's almost two different tournaments, right?
Yeah.
You gotta analyze the first like 2 days by which wave you were in, or first 4 days, I should say, by which wave you were in.
Can I say how sick it was just to have a day full of rain all day yesterday? And then DJ and I went with our wives to go see Batman with Max, as he was very publicly saying. And then turns out in the movie, the entire movie.
Spoiler.
Did it ruin that for
It
anyone?
rains the whole.
Amazing how fast the switch got flipped today when the sun came out. Of
Which, by the way, if you're Batman / Bruce Wayne, spoiler alert, they're the same person. I wouldn't own a motorcycle in that town. It rains every fucking day.
that was
Why
tough.
would you want to be riding a motorcycle around?
that was tough.
It's like do people have motorcycles in Seattle?
Exactly. It makes no
I
sense.
don't know.
Real quick before we get off DJ, though, what do you guys think of the search party that he brought out to?
That was a
find
sweet
ball?
move.
Randy, did you see
I
that?
didn't see that.
No, I missed that.
He brought 50 people out under
Number
the
6, I
ropes
think.
on 5. He drove it
yeah.
left on 5, couldn't find his ball, brought 50 people out, and finally somebody stepped on it and found it.
Wow.
That shout as an homage to the cat, of course, that brought the fans out to move the rock in Phoenix. But they said the marshal tried to stop him. They broke contain, came out there and found the golf ball.
I thought the birdie that he had on 8 was one of the best birdies
that
in the
was a very
history of the
good
game. So, swear to God. And then just like seeing Fleetwood tee off today, he absolutely pummeled a drive on what was that, on 2?
Yeah.
I mean, he's flushing it right now. I'm really excited to watch him tomorrow.
Some exceptionally looked like really bad speed on the early putts. Like
That's fine.
4
That's
feet
fine.
short.
Finno,
just
you
ran
wanted-
that umpy.
You wanted to
uncomfy
air
zone.
Finno out for
No, not me.
being bundled up.
Oh yeah, Finno's blowing us up. I was like, I wonder if if the wind chill is going to be too low for them to send players out tomorrow. It's like they're
Finno-
grown men. We're going to play.
Finno texted me, tell these boys to have a day off about this wind chill stuff. These are grown men. They're gonna be fine.
He's tweeting videos of this is what real wind looks like to putt in. It's like, you guys are from Northwest England. Tell the Jupiter boys.
And then he was all bundled up with his stocking.
Yeah,
cap
he was
on.
wearing
His toque.
he was wearing a toque out there today. Come on, Finno. You got my number. Text me directly.
My phone's off, like Monahan.
All right, who's gonna get just vaporized off the first page or 2 of this leaderboard that's in this?
He's my
in this
guy,
late wave.
but Bond, honor Bond. I don't think it's going to go great for Bond.
Yeah, that's Kramer Hickok. I'm not wild about what we're gonna see there. Probably.
You're saying he's reached the summit. And he's
It's possible. It's possible.
I would
I
say,
got a list of 17 guys. It's
Randy,
not gonna
anyone
go
you
well.
think is going to get blown away?
I think the better question is who's not going to get blown away. I don't have a ton of faith in a lot of these guys.
I got an answer for you. Tom Hoagie's not going anywhere. Hadn't gone anywhere in 2 days,
No.
first of all. But also, that dude is legit. I've flipped the script, and it is the best possible year for. I love this guy, so this is not a non-offensive statement. A best possible year scenario for a Craig Perk situation.
Yeah, I was
Like
thinking about that on the way home today.
there is just look at this leaderboard. It is the weirdest freaking leaderboard, and it is not going to be necessarily be fair the rest of the way. If this thing goes till Tuesday, there's more thunderstorms in the broadcast for in the forecast for Tuesday. It could go to Wednesday. I so much shit is way up for grabs right now.
I thought Andy Johnson, I think was, I don't know if it's on Twitter or text or where he was making this point, but something about Kisner playing really well when he was up kind of towards the top, and how there's some guys that are just used to hitting longer clubs into more of these greens. And looking at looking at someone like Brian Harmon up at the top of the leaderboard, like that could be an interesting case when it gets really cold and suddenly you're hitting a lot more 5 irons, 6 irons, 4 irons, hybrids, things of that nature into these greens. Maybe some of the shorter hitters, it kind of mentally, I don't know, that's getting pretty deep on the analysis, but maybe mentally it makes a little more sense hitting some of these longer clubs in there.
Little Matty Fitzpatrick would have been a candidate for that.
Did he get-
74 plus
hate
4. A couple guys that I've got that might be rising up the leaderboard here in that same vein. Honest Abe. He's currently 4 under
And a big first watch guy, you said.
Yeah, I saw him at First Watch. for
Complimented
breakfast yesterday.
your President's Cup hat.
Yeah, my international team swag. And then another couple guys saw Francesco Molinari. I saw him at Whole Foods the other night, and he's kind of
TC's got
this is a good.
just keeping receipts. If you want to know anytime in Jacksonville,
He's got radar.
who's beating up the hot bar at Whole Foods, my guy Tron is all over it.
I'm terrified to do player interviews the week they're about to play a tournament, and then you're not airing it until next week. Spoiler alert: next week's podcast is Abe Answer, and if he goes on wins, there's gonna be no questions in there about him winning the players. So
Prepare for that now. Watch this space.
I'm excited to see Joaquin. Is the one guy I really want to see how he comes out and plays tomorrow.
Kind of an interesting spot for him because it's going to be once the wind kind of dies down, it's going to be super, super wet out.
Yeah.
And not very windy. So it's not going to punish the high ball hitters. And he hits it so low.
Low-key
Right.
didn't play that wet today, right? I mean, I know
That's
the
what I'm saying
rough.
about the golf
Yeah,
course.
just the roughs. Little.
It's actually
embedded
kind of.
ball situations. Everything else looked pretty good.
Yeah.
It wasn't ripping as much even on the
No.
greens as it was
I
Thursday.
think some of that was because the greens are just like they just didn't cut them.
yeah.
Either, right? So they're slow. So they're not really, even when they want to rip. Like, I mean, on 17, like some of those low profile drone shots that they show are like you can see the scruff on that green. You
Which
know?
shout out to the NBC drone. The
Yeah.
image just
Oh,
went
it
from
was
like a
awesome.
1 out of 10 to like a 9.5 out of 10 in 1 week.
Even, like
Yeah.
candidly, even having the drone up
Right.
today was
Yeah.
Yeah.
a surprise.
They had one like looking back from
Yeah.
down 4 or 5, and then
Over the practice area.
yeah,
there.
and then they had another one where they showed the intercoastal, which I thought was in poor taste.
I thought that was gross. Did you see that, Randy? They
No.
come back from break when they switched. I believe it was when they switched from NBC
Yeah.
to Golf Channel. And what do they show? Stunting right on my guy TC, the intercoastal waterway, disconnected from the tournament. No reason to show it other than to just completely flex on Tron and his infrastructure plan.
Although I will say it
You
would have been a small craft advisory out there today. Like there were white caps in the lake. On
I was
each-
gonna say that I had that same thought earlier today. TC would have been a tough day for the boats out on 17.
all the jet skiers would have loved it.
But there is a boat. The guy that runs the camera on up against that island, he has to take a boat out there.
That's the flower barge. That's
Yeah.
the same boat.
And
same
like
craft.
that was some choppy waters
Remember-
out there today.
Doubt.
Remember that presidential boat rally where everybody started sinking because the waters are so choppy?
In Austin, right?
Yeah, that's what I pictured on
I
17
feel like they
today.
need to rent out the island, the flower island.
What would you
Okay.
charge
For sure.
for that? And how many people would you
You
fit?
could do like, I don't know, probably 10, 12 people. You could put a little mini bar out there. And
Yeah,
just-
he wants a swim up bar.
Oh, highlight of the day. So we're on the 17, and there's this bird that goes down. I think it was an osprey. It goes down, picks up
A lot of
fish.
birds of prey circling.
Yeah,
around.
picks up a fish out of the water, and then everybody is like, it was right in between
Everybody's
groups.
cheering.
Everybody's
People are
wrapped
losing
by
their
it.
mind.
It probably carries the bird or the fish for a good like 10, 12 seconds, and then drops it. And everybody starts booing.
Yeah, that was right before Team Rose made his 7.
Yeah, it was kind of ominous.
Yeah.
It's so weird. This is like doing a podcast like 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday. Like that's
Yeah.
pretty much how far we are.
I have no idea what day of the week. it is.
We're yeah, gosh. Any questions? You can send some questions in. We got some time here to take many of your questions. If you got any sentiment in there, Cody, of anything we haven't covered there?
Little telecast stuff. Where is the golden man?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We
Start
started
with that. If you're just joining,
got
There's
the
an
head
APB.
and then smelted.
no whereabouts about the golden boy, the golden man.
Put on an APB.
Lots
Which-
of talk about clothing and headwear
Oh,
of choice.
Kokrak.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got to talk about Kokrak. That was a egregious shirt he was wearing.
But then
today.
he body shamed him. He put the hoodie on.
yeah, he put the maroon hoodie on.
I can't recall the last time I saw without rain pros taking their hats off for shots.
It was a big day for Spieth's hair plugs. Like, to see if those things were
They held.
firmly in there.
Big day for Koepka's blonde, whatever that thing he's got going on. Which has he had to touch that up, or is that all still the first?
It's a good question.
That happened
know.
before
It's dormant.
farmers.
It's dormant right now.
What do you think about him though? I mean, he leaned into a lot of
Yeah.
bad shots and
He was
and played it
smiling and
pretty
kinda
good
yucking
at
it up out
16,
there.
17.
That's the thing is this again, the sentiment among the players is not like this is ridiculous that we're playing in that. Like, I think they're happy to be out there. They recognize the situation. It's just tying in the conversation from last week of like, it's not that pros are afraid of having it be hard. I think hard for the sake of hard is so different than just a proper challenge and test. And this felt again a little unfair for the whatever, like from player to player hitting shots. It's unfair. Like, it is unfair that Koepka's ball gusted on him, and he laughed about it. And I have to give that a shout out.
Well, so is it a commentary on? I think it's commentary on two things, right? It's commentary on slower greens, like that that's not necessarily the challenge that people want to see is lightning fast greens.
Yeah.
And then B, is it a commentary on like they hate firm greens? They hate firmness because that's.
I don't think they hate firmness. I think they hate firmness on a horrible layout like Bay Hill.
When the surrounds are soft.
Yes.
As shit. Yeah.
Or when there's ankle deep rough right off the green.
Yeah.
I also wonder if this was Thursday afternoon, if there would have been a little more whining going on. But now it's just like we've gotten to a point where it's so freaking obvious that it's like, what do you want to do? Push it
We
in
gotta
next
play,
weekend?
yeah.
Like we have to take whatever windows we can.
Going
I think guys are kind of throwing their hands up and like, what are you gonna do? It's hard.
back to the point about like we're talking about Joaquin and it not necessarily playing that long. It's actually one of the few courses, and this has just been my personal experience, but I've actually found it easier off the tee when I especially except for the par threes when I play it from the tips because I can hit driver everywhere versus there's so many awkward, weird drives on, especially on the front nine where like you've got to hit less than driver. And I think like that seems to be bearing itself out here too. Is it's so wet that guys can just
There's more drivers in play.
There's more drivers in play. Guys can just bomb away and know that it's going to stop right where they hit it.
That's interesting.
You
Watch
guys,
the space.
you guys in on the cufflinks prank? The video that's
good.
That was great.
That was
Yeah,
that was a payoff of the strategic alliance. If I was
Was
to
it?
guess,
Randy, how much?
gotta be.
How much do you think the Tiffany cufflinks actually cost?
1,500.
That's kind of what we
Say
said.
15
Yeah,
to
that's kinda what we
1800.
said.
I gotta say though, boys, not much experience at Tiffany's.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Marburger was a great foil.
A great,
for that,
yeah.
It helps. He's got amazing relationships with all those players, and it was well acted. Saeed came off great. Lucas Herbert probably did come off the best.
No,
that
a
I've seen.
couple own goals. In there.
Yeah.
Listen,
That's
Lucas just he doesn't like going with the flow and playing by the rules.
Alley-oop for TC there. Windmill dunk. What else, Cody? Anything else we're missing?
That's pretty much it. I think a lot of comments about maybe the random mowing patterns that you wanted to enact on 17. See how that would played out today. A lot of balls.
Sure.
A lot of guys got crowned.
Totally. Just the reiteration for that. The Piowski plan on 17 would be to cut either random or symmetrical chunks out of the collar on 17, make it a true coin flip on whether your ball spins off the green there or not. But I'm aiming for a 2023 decision on that.
Sully, I guess probably the
Big. Sorry, Big was gonna say something. What's that, Big?
No, sorry. I had said if I may, I thought the lift clean in place in round 2 was not needed.
There were so many balls plugging in the rough.
Go ahead,
In the
Cody.
rough. Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Fairway, I thought, let's play through it, boys.
I guess
It's
you're
amazing.
a scratch breaking 70 tweet
Oh, yeah.
that went.
We
Some just don't get. I guess it got a nice shout out today on the XM radio show.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
so
didn't know that part.
Just people.
What did they say?
clearly not getting it. I don't know.
Can
It's
you
one of
pull up the
comments.
tweet just to see what the number of replies
Of
we're up to?
course.
I didn't. It's amazing. I tried to throw out a little joke about fast and firm, and nobody fell for it. I was like, okay, Twitter might have matured, and just threw it out like, God,
and then you threw some red meat out.
Sharks. I thought this was pretty damn obvious. Like, I'm going to go out and say it. Absolutely no way a scratch is breaking 70 in these conditions today. And just 200 replies. Do you mean 90? Do you mean you want to see the peak of comedy? Right? It's in the replies to that tweet right there.
Yeah, we're 218 replies, 43 retweets, and about 1,600 likes.
Randy, what do you think you would have
Not
shot
getting
out
it.
there today?
If I had to count everything, probably 126
Absolutely.
from the tip.
Big Tin Cup, so you know he'd be on.
When I don't play well in the wind, I get knocked around up there.
True.
Is this from the back? Is this from the players'
For
tees?
sure. If he
I
just-
thought you meant from where the players
Yeah.
were playing.
No, you're just taking, Danny Lee's spot or something.
It's
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
that you don't play well in the wind. Like, is that just because you're so tall?
He's so top heavy.
Oh my
The wind that
god!
knocks it out of
But
it.
there's
And
no-
I don't have a sturdy base, TC.
Yeah, but you don't put any spin on the ball, so it just cuts right through the wind too.
Well, I know, but if the wind gets to a certain point, then I physically get affected by it. But if the wind's, okay, then that's fine. But if
It's also
it gets,
so soft that like you would be hitting your driver like
I don't know if you'd make it.
205,
I don't know if you. I
210.
don't think you'd make it to many fairways. To be
guys, God,
Maybe in the
my
spring,
British, My salty British sports writers were just hating on 17 today, saying today was a prime example of why it's like the dumbest hole in golf.
Yes,
I would agree.
Yes.
Completely. But also say, like, fuck off, man.
Yeah.
Come on. That's what we're out here to do.
Let's make no mistake about it. 17 is dumb,
Yeah.
but is it very entertaining? Like, no matter, somebody could have a 6-shot lead coming into 17 on Sunday, and if there's any conditions like even slightly like today, it is still must-see TV.
Let me ask this. Saw that you've been to a lot of golf tournaments in your life. You've had a lot of access to pro golf. You were at the golf tournament for what, 6 hours today? What'd you do?
I sat behind 17T. That's literally, I think, all I saw today. I watched about 12 groups come straight through 17. It took forever, by the way.
It's the best.
But it's just great to see like the conversations and the true befuddlement to it, and backing off and practice swing. It's just you don't see guys do that like on a Friday at the 3M, and you see it in round 2 at the Players. Like, I think that something's working there.
Question.
Today would have been a great day to have a timer.
Oh,
Make
that was the first thing I thought out there.
Make them
Randy.
play.
Make them pull the trigger when it's uncomfortable
Yes.
instead of waiting out the wind.
Can I say though, on 17, I'd be totally down for a total green redesign.
What do you mean? Yeah.
I don't know what. I'm not a shaper. I don't know how. Like, it just doesn't really work. I don't think the ridge in the center of the green may be too dramatic. Like it, the
What
tiers.
if they made it a volcano? There's like a volcano in the middle.
Hot
No,
tub.
straight up.
No, I'm with you.
There's a dip in the middle,
Well,
and then it's all funneled.
there's a
after
volcano,
that.
and then everything around it just slopes
So
off.
the
of
middle is like a
volcano.
little punch bowl.
Yeah.
And then everything else funnels away.
it's
Wait, a
kinda
real
like-
punch bowl or an opposite punch bowl? I think TC's saying a reverse.
No,
punch
he's
bowl.
saying like
It
he's
would,
saying
like,
bowl.
it'd be like the crater, like
Yeah.
inside the the like magma chamber.
So basically, if you hit it within like 8 feet, it might go in. But if you hit it outside 8 feet,
it's getting
it
like,
might go off.
Yeah, so you
and
have
then
to
you've gotta
shape it,
deal
like, like into the slope of the mountain or whatever.
I do think it's worth pointing out that for the theory of there should be a hot tub in place of that bunker right there.
We were discussing that. I couldn't remember if we had said the hot tub in the middle of the green or the middle or where
It's
the
in the
bunker is.
bunker.
Okay.
I think the
Okay.
bunker. Yeah.
It's worth pointing out only 3 balls have hit in that bunker so far.
Which would be 3 easy, just like, hey, heads up, boys.
Yeah,
And
put a helmet on.
then-
We're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And think of all the money raised for charity.
Exactly.
Randy, I have a comment.
Wait, do you think the other island, the Flower Island, would be a for-profit thing or a non-profit thing?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, is the tour a for-profit thing, right? It's kind of like a who could say.
Have you guys seen any of those things, like those boats that are like actually hot tubs that kind of float
It's
on
like a
rivers?
floating sauna or something. Right?
They have them like in Europe and stuff.
Yeah.
That might be the hybrid. Instead of getting boats in there from the intercoastal, doing floating hot tubs in the pond on 17 seems like a good way to
You know,
make
a
some
good
money.
beta test too would be those water skiing squirrels. Get some of those little boats out there.
That's so stupid. All right,
They would have capsized.
Randy,
there,
I
for
got a
sure.
question for all the curmudgeonly, UK sports writers. Do they?
Of course.
Who are your boys, by the way?
Yeah,
These
I
are
love
your-
I claim them all. I claim them all happily.
Yeah, we saw Hopkins today. We're leaving the media center.
the you.
But but so they're like, have any of them played Catanset Club up in Massachusetts, perhaps, on beautiful Buzzards Bay? William Flynn design, one of the original island greens. It's a full circle, very windy, all of that. Who could say?
Yeah. I'm going to hazard a guess and say they maybe haven't, but I will for sure check with them.
All of them.
I want to give a shout out to Michael Thompson, who I think hit the shot of the day so far the tournament on 17. He got 112 yards, which I think was 40 yards short.
God, what a like 36 hours for that guy. Can you pull up his scorecard? Do you have it?
I can
handy?
find it.
Just found out it was the rare, if I'm remembering right,
Yes,
the
you are.
rare thing where he was like the last alternate into the field, but didn't get in until Friday based on like the way everything shook out.
Tyler McCumber withdrew.
And then he comes out, and if I'm remembering right, Eagles number 2, birdies number 4, and birdies number 5, and then makes a bunch of bogeys after that.
he hit
Cumber
100.
withdrew because the
Yeah.
waves were too good.
He's out in Colorado now, Randy.
He
lives out
moved
there.
from Jax?
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
here
no
though.
kidding.
You guys need to
I-
break bread. You guys would be birds of a feather.
Do you
Well,
think if
we did a podcast with him. He's
I
a
know.
Trap Draw alumni. I would love to meet up with him.
do you guys think that if Mickelson was in the field this week and he was in like the early late wave, he would have finished up his round on Thursday and then flown back to San Diego
Yes.
for a couple days.
It's possible.
He'd have gone somewhere
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it did not. You didn't have to go far to get out of whatever just hit us. Like it was a very personal storm. That came
Although
through.
they're getting shit on up in the Northeast right now
Well,
with some of the same
I
fronts.
think
They
you had
got
a pretty
snow in the
point.
Midwest too.
You know where it never rains?
Where?
Saudi Arabia.
Oh, Riyadh.
Which
And,
I think
yeah,
Phil is
Royal Greens.
Maybe onto something there.
Yeah. Sally, you're going to get lit up on Twitter if you don't mention Seamus Power.
Okay,
T15 -2
Lurking.
today through 16 holes.
that's some good golf.
It's very good.
Oosthuizen at -3, and then another guy that I think is
Oosthuizen was looking like the Riddler from the new Batman movie
Yeah.
out there. Did you see him?
Will you
today?
stop with the spoilers?
That's not a spoiler.
and then
got a mascot.
Hovland. Hovland's -1 hasn't teed off yet for round 2. I don't think. And
Hmm.
I want to see Hovland. I want to see Hovland elevate himself into the mix here.
Are you guys going out tomorrow?
Oh,
Hell yeah.
it's going to be a sweepstakes
Absolutely.
tomorrow.
How many layers you going for? Will you tell people about Florida cold? So I'm not the only one that has to do it.
it's listen, I mean,
It's like a cousin to California cold.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, but Midwest cold is pretty cold too. And
But, like,
it's
that's
all
like-
very relative.
That's like -2 degrees. Yeah,
Yeah.
that gets cold.
But
like,
it gets pretty fucking windy too. Like
it does. But,
But
35.
kind of damp.
the people
there.
are never going to ride for. Listen, it's cold, yes, of course, but it's
Yeah, I don't know what your end game
colder
here
places
is.
on the planet and also in the country.
People see the temperature though, and they're like, "Oh, you guys being pussies. It's Florida."
No,
You're not
sure.
that bad. It is 35 in Florida is different than 35 in Ohio,
of course,
in the Northeast, in the
But
Midwest.
that's because you're not used to it. It's always one off.
Your blood's thin.
Yeah.
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 Disagree.
I don't think it's materially
Combination of
different.
factors. Okay. But like every time I go to San Francisco, even if it's 75 and sunny out, I'm still cold. I
Yes.
don't know what it is about that place. And I feel the same way here when it dips below 50 degrees. It's just like damp and cold and it gets in your bones.
You think there's going to be any withdrawals tonight? I know Henrik is already withdrawn.
Did he?
Yeah, I think any.
I wouldn't blame guys.
No, I wouldn't either.
Luke List.
I
Luke
would-
just did it a while
But
ago.
that was that was like
I would bounce
Let's go.
so quickly.
So I think
Especially,
I think-
honestly, it's one of those things. It's like, what we were kind of saying about the cut and getting guys through. It's you're kind of doing your
part.
Yeah, you're kind of doing
Yes.
your part to get this thing in. If you have no chance of making the cut, why do you need to go play 6 more holes tomorrow?
If they wanted to get super provocative, what they could do is like come up with some model that involve like, all right, we're sending people out. Like we know we haven't made the cut yet, but if you've made the cut, we're not caring about the order too much. And we're sending this amount of people out on the golf course, both sides right now. And then as you guys finish, we are going to get you in on the
But
next
then
wave.
that's also where it gets to, like, again, I'm not trying to be the fair police, but that's where it gets to, if you have one of the best scores of the tournament and they're like, yeah, you're definitely in, like, you go play in the shit weather rather than like tomorrow morning when it's going to be nicer. I'd be like, well, fuck, man, that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Well, I don't think it's going to be shitty tomorrow afternoon.
It's gonna be super docile tomorrow afternoon, like
Yeah.
low 50s. But I will say, I think tomorrow I'm gonna go out early, watch these guys play round 2, and then I'm gonna come home for
Telecast
like
has been awesome.
broadcast
Yeah.
I know.
coverage. And then I think Monday is gonna be an absolute golf watching sweepstakes.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go out all day Monday.
You're going to go out there.
Oh yeah.
I think I might watch on TV.
I was going to say, I feel like when I'm there, like I really enjoy it, but it feels
Easy to
later in the
miss.
tournament than it is.
Yeah.
But
But
I feels
also
like
like Monday morning, you're gonna be able to go out and watch the back 9 of the leaders.
Yeah.
In the morning, and then you can go back and watch on TV in the afternoon. It's
True.
like the best of both worlds. It's great.
I'm very excited. It's been an awesome day today.
you want to throw a quick rapid fire, a few questions in there, Cody, and then we'll get out of here.
I don't know if this is going to be the best for you, but we got a lot of weather takes coming at you now.
Okay, go
So,
ahead. Bring it. I will challenge anyone on this one.
35 degrees is, of course, 35 degrees.
Nope.
It's 35 degrees.
It's
not.
somewhere.
It's
not.
I'm with you, Sally.
It's not.
We got a
Nope.
couple. It's 17 degrees and 25-mile-an-hour winds in Michigan today.
Yeah, that's cold.
Quit bitching.
Like they're
That's
they're
fine. I'm not
out there
saying it's
playing
cold.
golf.
I'm not saying it's colder here than it is there. I'm just saying it gets damn cold here.
They're probably ice fishing.
Bring
or
it. Keep
something.
bringing it. I'll knock all these out of the park. I'm from the Midwest. I know. I lived in Chicago for 6 years. I know what -20 wind chill feels. I know what -40 feels like. Okay,
DJ,
it gets cold down here.
does it get colder just outside Chicago than in Chicago?
No, I'd say in Chicago. Probably
Just
gets
'cause
a
you're on the
little
lake.
colder. Right on the lake is tough, as Solly can attest to.
All right. I know it's weird because we're only halfway through round 2 here, but like, gun to your head, who do you guys like right now?
Rom.
Cam.
Really?
All right, big.
Absolutely.
I abstain. Nobody.
It's too early.
Thank you.
What?
Thanks for that.
Only because he doesn't have the leaderboard.
It's getting
Okay.
dark. It's getting dark in Randy's place.
Yeah,
Again, too.
No, I got a couple lights on. It should not get worse than this. I turned a couple lights on.
The ring lights are like $25, big.
Oh, I thought DJ said he was going to Amazon me one.
Yeah, I forgot. Listen, it's been a very fluid situation down
Man-
here.
Of course.
Randy refuses to Amazon anything for himself because he hates Jeff Bezos.
That's exactly right, TC. I would take.
You can't pour sake for yourself.
I would take
JT.
JT.
Amazon it. He'll take the goods, but you can't order them himself.
All right, we picked who you guys like. Where do you think the cut's going to be at?
What is that now?
They're
One
saying-
over?
Who could say?
They're saying even right now, but
What? No.
Yeah,
Who's that? Who?
Who is
Hey.
that?
No, many people.
the tour.
Yeah.
But I think this
models.
is sort of like the generational. There's 70 guys at even or better. Our buddy
definitely.
Max. Is
Data Golf's got it at +2. So
I think it's probably going to land at +1. Personally,
17.9% chance it lands at +1, 66% at +2, 15% at +3.
is that based on just what the
They
the
include
conditions have been, or
hourly weather forecasts
Okay.
involved in their future models.
Are they down to the minute though, like TC's fishing app?
Dude, my fishing app isn't just for fishing. They have,
No, it blew my mind. Surfing and like sailing. and
Kites.
they have
paddle
they have pilot stuff where like if you're like a small plane pilot, you can basically
or a drone
look,
pilot. Like
look like where like what the wind is doing at 4,000 feet and 8,000 feet.
I know how to
It's
read those
sick.
charts too.
Yeah. All right. So can I get action then?
What? Yeah, let's do it.
On the cut.
What do you want? Over under?
I'll go one over.
So
you go
1.5.
two over.
Okay.
But I want odds on that.
For the
'cause
record, I'll take 3. I think it's gonna be nastier tomorrow than people are anticipating.
What kind of
nasty-
odds do you want?
Nasty weather.
I think DJ already owes me some money today. We had a dumb bet about how many times my hat was going to blow off.
no, it was a détente.
Oh,
We tied.
You know
It
what I thought today was gonna be?
$20 and vice versa.
If it was ever gonna happen, I thought today might be the day somebody got fell into the water, got gusted into the water.
Said, I was hoping for that too.
Solly, I want like 4-1 odds.
No.
It's a six. You said it's a 16% chance per Data Golf,
Right, but you don't
That
have
it's
to take
plus
that.
one.
Yeah, I'm good.
and then for +2, what was it?
66% chance.
66. So you're actually making out like a bandit on
That's
that.
not how math works at all.
Yes, it
I think we
is.
take this offline.
I
Yeah,
have a 2/3 chance. Why would I take 4-1 odds?
Cody, will you dismiss me?
I know, right?
I got a dinner reservation. I think
Randy,
we
what
wrap
are you
this
doing
up.
tonight?
Hanging low. I think I'm gonna watch Licorice Pizza. I've been
Will you text me after you finish it?
yeah. I've been a little I think I'm a little achy. I don't want to say I'm under the weather, but just a big come down from all the travels recently. So I'm
Fair.
trying to take it easy.
Quick question: has anybody watched Drive to Survive yet?
Have not.
I'm gonna dig into that.
No.
tonight, I think.
Have not. I've heard mixed things through
Mixed.
GC only.
Mixed.
Do you know what is exciting though? Being out on the ground and seeing all the Vox Media folks
Very
milling
much.
about.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this episode.
I know.
Oh, God, yeah.
exactly.
They
I
got
know.
some good content already.
Yeah. It's
Like-
been a thrill seeing all those guys running around, and it's a very major production. It's awesome.
Major.
Major.
All right, the
Major.
last thing, I don't know what it is, but please explain to us what the wheels and doors thing is.
It's just a question
Oh,
that's
yeah.
going around, but many people are asking: are there more wheels in the world or more doors in the world?
Right now?
What's considered
Yeah.
a wheel? Like
Well, I
Wheel
got
on
into it with my
anything?
wife this morning about this. So I didn't know if she was talking about tires. I don't know if she was talking about wheels. I think if you're rolling your trash can to the,
or your luggage or
or
something. like
I think that's a
Yeah.
wheel.
Okay.
So I think I'm very much team wheels, but
If that's the case, then I'm team wheels.
yeah.
but also there's a ton of interior doors.
Oh,
I mean,
God, I
it's-
think
Yeah,
I'm
but
on
we're also
doors.
like very privileged and pampered. Like
What's-
a lot of
Sure.
countries don't
Not
have
many-
doors, bro.
Also,
or
what's
maps.
what's
A lot
Or
of
considered-
countries
maps.
don't
Thank
have
you.
maps.
That's
what's
exactly
considered a
right.
door? Is a cabinet considered a door? Is a
Oh,
trunk or a
God,
hood
wow.
considered a
Think about
door?
I
TC,
think
these
maybe-
are such good questions.
I don't want to spike this, but maybe we think on this tonight and we can get back tomorrow with
Okay.
a more.
I have one more question. I
Throw
don't know
it
if it was in the chat. Is Pittsburgh in the Midwest or Northeast?
Close it. Shut it. We're good.
Real quick, I saw this thing about Arizona yesterday too. Is somebody calling Arizona on the West Coast?
I think it's more West Coast than Southwest.
You're
for
crazy.
Sure.
Spiritually.
Not doing it. Good night, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow.
It's in the mid. it's in
Thank
the
you, everyone,
Midwest.
for
He smoked us out. man.
for being here. We'll see you tomorrow for the end-ish of round 3, mid round 3. Who knows? We'll see you then. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.